Okay, we just went through a video where we analyzed what happens when prices increase and pizza is treated as a normal good. And if you haven't watched that, I recommend that you start with that video and even the video where we had a price decrease. We're going to kind of speed through the analysis because we've already now done analyzing a substitution effect 3 times. This is a price increase, so just like before, our first job is to change the budget constraint. So what we say is if we spend all our money on Dukes, we don't get any more Dukes. But if we want to spend all our money on pizza, we actually get less pizza than we were getting before. So I'm going to draw that budget constraint going through, slicing through peanut, meaning if I could physically afford peanut, but just a whole lot less Dukes. Looks like I forgot to label BC not, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to go through the substitution and income effects. So the substitution effect, as we've spoken about before, is independent of whether or not this is a normal or inferior good. So it's going to end up looking exactly how it looked before when we treated pizza as a normal good and there was a price increase. So I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to reflect the law of demand, the fact that when price of pizza has gone up, my prediction is that the quantity demanded will go down. And I want to make sure whatever I do reflects that. And so I want to take my ruler and line it up with the blue BC1, always BC1, no matter what industry you're in. And you're going to go ahead and, in this case, shift it out towards U naught. So you're always going to U naught. It looks like for me that happens right about here. I'm going to draw BC sub C, and it's parallel to BC1. Point C reflects how much I would consume if I were able to reach U naught. In this case, I can't, but if I could, that's what I would consume if I still faced the new prices. Now I need to analyze the income effect. I know I can't afford anything on U naught, so I'm going to have to reduce to BC1 because that's the only thing that's relevant in the marketplace. To do that, I ask the same 3 questions. Am I richer or poor when prices increase? I'm poor. I'm going to tell you that this is a negative relationship between income and consumption, so this is an inferior good. So from point C, do I consume more or less inferior goods when I'm poor? I actually consume more inferior goods. So the income effect walks in this direction. But because the law of demand is the law of demand, I'm not going to go past A. I know I'm going to end up somewhere between A and C, but on BC1. And in this case, I'm going to draw my point B here from, I'm going to call this P1. From PC to P1 as a result of the income effect, it's smaller than the substitution effect. I'm going to draw an indifference curve that's convex to the origin, downward sloping the same shape as U naught. And in this case, because U naught's greater than U1, again, I'm worse off just as I was before, but I've reduced my response rate to a change in this price because this is an inferior good. So if I were going to map this out on a demand curve, what I would see is A and B, and I would see that consumers did indeed respond by reducing their consumption amount, but not by as much as they did when they were in the normal good realm. Hopefully that helps clear up these 2 types of market shocks. I recommend watching them in that order, and I'll label them for that to be easy.